everyone. I'll just wait a couple of minutes for everyone else to join. But I can see that we've got quite a few attendees already this morning, which is amazing. For those of you who have never met me, I know I've met some of our customers before. I am Brigitte. I am the Key Account Manager here at Rex. It is very exciting that we are starting this Rex Essentials series this morning. Essentially, what you can expect from this series is we will be running a webinar every week. We will start with the basics from the beginning today. And then as we do move forward with the series, we will move through some more advanced features and workflows, of course. Each week we'll focus on one topic at a time. It'll be 15 minutes of hands-on training with 15 minutes of Q&A. And then each session is recorded, and we will also share that recording post the actual event as well. Today I am joined by Shelley and Kira, who will be answering Q&A throughout the actual series, along with others from our team who will also be going through Q&A as well. You will be able to find the Q&A box down the bottom of your screen. When you do click on that one, you will be able to start typing in your questions. As I mentioned, we will answer questions throughout the series, but also have that 15 minutes of Q&A at the end where I will answer those questions live as well. So let's kickstart this session. So the first session for today is running through the navigation of Rex and how you can navigate around the actual CRM itself. So how you can navigate through your Rex account. You do have your navigation bar on the left-hand side here, where you can just simply expand that menu by clicking on the arrow down the bottom there. When you do open up that arrow, it will expand that menu for you where you have all of your different modules that you can select from. Depending on your privileges, you may not have access to every single one of these modules, but majority of you will have access to home, calendar, dashboards, listings, properties, contacts, and leads. And as I mentioned, depending on your privileges, you might not have access to financials, other lists, and applications. Each week, you will also be able to click on your Rex Essentials pop-up icon as well in your menu, which will take you through to these events as well. So if you would like to use that to access these these live sessions, you can click on that as well. On your homepage here, this is where you'll be able to access your stream. So things like your reminders, your open home attendee and private inspection follow-ups as well will live here. If you have our projects add-on as well, you'll be able to find your expiring holds here. Any contract conditions that are up and coming to be due, along with any feedback that is awaiting to be approved for reporting, and of course, any up and coming listings to expire as well. You do have your stream here in the middle, which is showing you all of your listing updates for your account. So any new listings that you have published, any contracts that have fallen over, listings that have sold or gone under contract as well will appear in this middle stream as well. On the right-hand side of your home screen, you do have your agenda, which is just stepping you through what actual tasks you do have due for the day. So how many phone calls do you need to make? How many emails or letters need to be sent out? And then, of course, your upcoming appointments as well. So what are those appointments that need to also be actioned throughout the day? These appointments can feed from your Rex calendar, but also if you have our external calendar syncing set up, it can also grab your personal calendar events as well. So if you would like to set that up, you can definitely arrange for that to be set up by going through to your calendar icon there and connecting your calendar. To step you through your stream though, if you do click on your reminders, it will open up all of your reminders that are due for the day for you. It will also have that outline of all those different tasks that you need to complete based on what type of task it is. So as we can see, I've got 3 phone calls to make today along with 2 general admin tasks. I can very easily click on those contact names by just clicking on the name there, which will then open up the side draw card for me to see their contact number straight away, where I can pick up the phone now and call that person because it is that call task that I need to log. I do have the ability from this side drawer card, of course, to email, SMS, create any notes. If I click on this more button as well, adding in any additional reminders as well, or booking in any appointments too, is available as well. You'll be able to see straight away all the activity as well for the actual contact, along with a quick summary of the actual contact as well from this screen too. When you do finish off that actual reminder, you can just simply click on the tick box, which will complete that reminder for you, but it will also prompt you to add in any notes if you wish to add a note against that contact as well. You do have the ability, of course, to add in any feedback or reminders as well again. If you don't want to add in an additional note though, because you've added it in during the side draw card section, you can just simply click on skip or click anywhere out of the actual box, and that task will disappear for you. If you wanted to group your reminders by a specific listing or contact, you do also have the ability to do that by clicking on this group by toggle, which will then open up to show you that you can group those tasks or those reminders, sorry, by property, contact, and track as well. If you were to click on your agenda though, same functionality as when you do click on reminders, just so that you are all aware of that too. When you do click on follow-ups, it will show you all of those open home attendees and private inspection attendees that do need to have feedback completed for them. Again, clicking on that name will allow you to open up that side draw card where you will have access to see that person's mobile number. To add in any feedback for that person when you are on the phone to them, just simply clicking on that add feedback button there, typing away at any feedback that you need to add in for them, adding in their interest level, of course, if you've got the inquiry source for them, so how they actually found the actual listing, you can enter in all of those details from here and then just simply click on save and it will remove that feedback from that follow-up section. Your expiring holds and contract section is very similar in terms of you'll be able to see those up and coming holds that are to expire, along with any conditions that are due for any contracts as well. Your feedback tab is also very similar to these. So when you do click on that feedback button, it will show you any feedback that is pending approval. Then you've got your expiring listing section as well. Again, this is similar to your feedback, contracts, and expiring hold setup, where you'll be able to see all of those listings that are up and coming to expire. You can just simply then click on that actual listing and proceed through to the listing itself. Or if you would like to be stepped through each listing to update those expiry dates, if you do have those new signed agreements, you can click on that listing step through button, which will then step you through each listing as you do update them, of course. Moving right along to your top bar up the top here, you've got your plus button where you are able to quickly add in any contacts, properties, or company records. You can also quickly send out any SMS, emails, or letters as well from this section, along with creating any notes, reminders, appointments, and feedback as well from that quick add button. You do have your global search bar here, so you can search for quite literally any record within Rex. So being able to search for a property address, a phone number, an email address, or a first and last name as well, you have the ability to search for that within this global search bar here by just simply typing in what it is you're looking for. You do then have your question mark, which is where you'll be able to find all of our help articles or our step-by-step guides on each feature. You'll be able to see the status of any support tickets that you might have. This is where you can also suggest a feature as well. So if there is a feature that you think might be missing from the CRM that would provide benefit, please come through into the suggest a feature box and suggest that feature for us. And then you do have your contact support team button. Please make sure that you are clicking on this contact support team button here if you are wanting to touch base with our support team. By clicking on this button here, it will actually provide our support team with the account that you are currently in, so that they don't have to ask you those additional questions of which account are you currently logged into, as they'll already receive all that info for you. You've then got access to our training center as well. So if you would like to see all of our bite-sized pieces of content around our training, you do have the ability to access that training center as well. And of course, we will also be updating those videos with all of these recordings throughout this series as well. You've then got your present icon as well. So your present icon will allow you to see all of our new features that we release. Today we did actually just release our Rex automations. So if you are interested in that new feature, please come through into that present icon, click on read more, and then you will be able to see that new feature and how it actually works and how you can set that up for your account. But any new feature that we release into the CRM will be available for you to see in that present icon, and we'll also provide you some information on how you can utilize that feature. You've then got your leads inbox up the top here. So this is where all of your listing inquiries will sit. So you will be able to find any listing inquiries, appraisal requests, but also any general inquiries that come through within this section here. Any failed messages that have failed to send as well will show here, but also any scheduled messages as well if you are scheduling any emails, any SMSs to be sent out as well. You've then got your settings up in the top right-hand corner here, where you have the ability to access your user settings. If you have set up your email Dropbox as well, this is where that will live, and then along with any announcements, but also your reload button. If our support team ever ask you to reload, please make sure that you are coming into this section here and clicking on reload. Reload is different to refresh. So please make sure that you are coming in here and doing it from there. So that is your first session around the navigation side of Rex. I will now open up the Q&A section and have a look at any questions that have been entered. So please type away any questions that you might have into your Q&A box. It looks like we've only had one question so far, so please don't be shy. Please pop those questions in there. Now is the time to ask them. I'll wait a couple of minutes just to see if anyone does enter in any questions. How do we create a listing after creating a property if we don't plan on publishing it? So you can very easily just create a listing from coming into a property record and clicking on that list property button. So you can do that by going into your property record itself. So either going into your navigation bar and clicking on all properties. From there, being able to find that property record, or by simply searching for the actual record in your global search bar. So if I just search for a random property record now, I might just choose 4 O'Connell Parade, for example, from my properties section. From here, I have the ability to click on that list property button, where I can choose my listing type itself. If you are set up as a multi-office location account, you can choose that relevant location that you are associated with. Simply click on list and it will create the actual listing record for you. You don't require to click on publish if you don't want to. So just so you are aware, you don't have to click on that publish button. You can just simply leave it in a draft form if you wish. Perfect. We're getting quite a few Q&As coming through. That's amazing. Is it possible to have a link phone numbers? I might just need some additional information from you, Michael, on that question there in terms of what you are referring to. How do we get the agenda side tab to come up? I assume that you are referring to this upcoming appointment section or this agenda section here. So it will come up on any of the reminders that you have due in this section here. So if you don't have any reminders due in the actual reminders stream, that agenda won't appear for you. So that's how that agenda does appear. If you were referring to the upcoming appointments section, this is in relation to any appointments that are scheduled in your Rex calendar, or if you have the external calendar sync set up, any appointments that are in your personal calendar as well will appear here too. What else do we have here? How do we get a recording of this video? You can get a recording of this video nice and easily by email. We will send out an email with a link to this recording after this session. I believe it is roughly an hour after we have turned this webinar off that you will receive that recording. But if for any reason you don't receive that email, feel free to reach out and we can definitely send you a copy of the link as well. What else have we got here? After creating a listing, how can we preview it before publishing? So I am assuming that you are referring to maybe your listing images and also your marketing text. So if you are wanting to send that one off to maybe your vendor that you want to show them what their listing is going to look like before you publish it to the actual portals, you can proceed through to your listing itself. So if I do maybe go to this listing now, you can head on through to reports and preview on Rex Hub. From here, it will actually take you through to your Rex Hub or your vendor portal, which you can also share with your vendors. And when you do come into that marketing tab there, you'll see all of those marketing images displaying for you there. Any floor plans that you've added, along with any marketing text that you've also added in. Any links, so any video links that maybe you've added to the listing will be available. And of course, a marketing schedule as well if you are utilizing our VPA tab. What else have we got? Reminders tab, the reoccurring on a set date. My reminders for the following year, once it has sent, is it set for the day before to be sent? So if you are setting up your reminders to be set 1 year from today, it will be due today in 1 year. So it won't be due a day before, sorry. It'll be due 1 year from the actual date that you are setting that recurring reminder to be set up on. When you add feedback, where does it show? I am assuming that you are maybe referring to when you are adding feedback from this follow-up section here. So when you're adding feedback into this follow-up section here, it will appear on the contact under the contacts feedback tab. It will also appear under the actual stream of the contact as well. So that will show up on the contact stream, which if I open up this side draw card now, there's an example quickly to show you of what that feedback could look like when it is entered on the actual contact. If I do navigate through to the actual contact record though as well, there is just a box in the middle of my screen. Sorry, everyone. You will be able to navigate through to that feedback tab where you'll be able to see the individual OFI attendee feedback, but also seeing it on the stream, of course, in that section there. How to set up a calendar sync to Google Calendar. So this one's come from Clinton. You can set up that Google Calendar sync by coming into your calendar itself. When you see your calendar on the side here, you will be able to click on that drop down and simply click on Connect Calendar. When you do click on that button there, it will take you through to this screen where you can just simply log into Google, Outlook, whoever it is that you do use for your calendar, or for your emails, I should say, sorry. I missed Rex Hub. How do I get there? Nice and easy to get to your Rex Hub if I just jump back into the CRM quickly. You want to navigate through to your listing itself. So if I just head back to the listing that I was on, you want to click on reports and then preview on Rex Hub. That will then take you through to your Rex Hub itself, where you'll be able to preview it. If you want to send it off to any of your vendors, just simply click on that Share Rex Hub login, where you will be able to click on Send Link, and it will send that link off to whoever is listed as your listing owner in your related contacts on this right-hand side here, as you can see there. Open up my Q&A box again. Does feedback also show on vendor feedback? So if you would like your feedback to be available for your vendor to see on their Rex Hub, you can very easily do this by having these approved for reporting tick boxes ticked. If for any reason you don't want a piece of feedback or an open home or maybe an inquiry to be shown to your vendor, you can just simply untick that box and it won't be visible to your vendor on their Rex Hub, or if you are generating a vendor PDF as well. So just simply ticking or unticking that box if you wish for that feedback to show. Can you explain auto passing? Is this the automatic reply to an inquiry? So auto passing is essentially referring to if a contact is automatically created and also automatically linked to a listing for you. This isn't referring to the listing auto responses. It is referring to the actual setup of the lead when it comes through to your Rex account. If you want to set up your automatic replies though for your actual leads, you can come through to that leads tab on any listing, and then you'll be able to set up that auto response through this section here and selecting that relevant template that you wish to add, or you can also create an on-the-fly template as well, which you can add to that listing too as your inquiry auto response. I can see the team are in there answering some questions as well. Is there any training modules for Rex Hub? This one's come from Roberta. We are going to be doing a training during this series on Rex Hub. So that will be up and coming in the upcoming weeks. We do have some help articles though on the actual Rex Hub though. So to access those, just come through to your actual question mark and head on through to your help articles there, where you'll be able to find those on how to use the Rex Hub. What is the difference in using the note or feedback to add information to a contact? This is actually a question that we do get asked quite a bit from people. So with this question, your feedback is if you would like it to be made available to your vendor. So are you wanting your vendor to see this specific feedback in relation to an open home or a private inspection or a lead? So essentially, is it someone that's inquired on a property or is looking for a property? And a note is to be used for internal purposes only. So you will notice when you are maybe entering in open home feedback on your Pocket app, which we will do a training on Pocket as well, that you'll have the opportunity to add in feedback and notes. If you would like it to be made available to your vendor, making sure that you're adding in feedback. If you would like that note to be only made available to yourself and not your vendor, making sure that you're adding in that note itself. Both will show up on the contact in the stream as I showed you before. So if you are adding in a note, it will show up on the contact stream. And if you're adding in feedback, it will also show up on the contact stream as well. I'm having trouble with the authenticator when logging into Rex. Karen, if you could please reach out to our support team, they will be able to assist you with that one, and they will be able to get that sorted for you. So by just simply clicking on that question mark up the top and clicking on Contact Support Team. If for any reason you can't log into your CRM, you can also email our support team by just simply entering in support@rexsoftware.com.au. But please make sure that you do put as much information into that email as possible so that the team can help you out as quickly as possible as well. Just checking some other questions that we might have. I can see the team is still answering some, which is amazing. The reason for this question is that we may not need to create a listing. Instead, we want to add all the info in the property section rather than having to list in order to enter those details. I am presuming that this question is around the one that we answered previously about how can you create a listing without having to publish it. If you do just create that draft listing, you will still have the ability to, of course, enter in all of the listing information into that actual record. You'll be able to also create any open homes on there as well if you needed to track any appointments, from that appointments tab there. You have the ability to do that as well on those draft listings. Just having a look at what else we've got here. Sorry, guys. What is Rex Hub? Great question. Rex Hub is our new feature that we just released a few months ago. So Rex Hub is our new vendor portal. So if you would like to explore that one more before the training session that we do have coming in the next few weeks, please come through into that question mark and help article section there, where you will be able to see all of those Rex Hub articles. How do we add an appraisal? Nice and easy to add an appraisal into any of your property records. So if we just go through to any property now, maybe I will just search for a random property. Let's go into this property record. You will see that you've got your appraisals tab here. From here, you have the ability to click on that appraisals tab, add in that active sale appraisal or rental appraisal, depending on what appraisal type you're wanting to create. You can simply click on that add sale appraisal or rental appraisal, of course, and entering in that appraisal details from that pop-up there. So if I do just enter in some random appraisal details now, if we say we appraised the property last week and we expect to receive that signed agreement by next week, we'll say that I am listing agent 1. What was that price range that you provided the vendor with? And then the maximum price as well. And then, of course, what was the vendor's asking price? We all know that most of the time vendors are way above and beyond the price that we actually give them. So entering in that asking price. If you are quoting commission at the time of your appraisal as well, you do have the ability to add in that quoted commission amount there too. But if you don't quote any commission at the time of the appraisal, you can also leave that blank and just simply click on save, which will then create that active sale appraisal. It is the same format for your rental appraisal as well. You'll just notice that the fields slightly differ depending on, of course, the quoted commission comes off, and also that rent frequency will appear for you as well to enter. So I hope that that covers your question about adding in an appraisal. We will go into more details around appraisals within Rex in the next few weeks as well. So showing you things like how you can reverse match off a appraisal along with your appraisals pipeline as well. We will show that in the next coming weeks too. I can't see an appraisals tab. What am I missing? You may potentially not have the permissions to access appraisals. I would highly recommend reaching out to your director in your office and asking them for the privileges around appraisals and how you can access them. In my pocket, I ask for a code, but I don't get any code in my emails. So Krish, this will be referring to your authentication method. So please head on through to your authenticator that you have set up and entering in that code that's in your authenticator. What else? Any other questions? Just double checking quickly. Looks like the team are answering a bunch of questions, which is amazing. Can you schedule follow-ups for appraisals? You can very easily schedule follow-ups for appraisals by coming into your reminders tab here and by adding in any ad hoc reminders, which is nice and easy to do. But if you would also like to set up any appraisal tracks where you essentially have a series of reminders created, you can add in those tracks as well for those appraisal follow-ups as well. We will go through a tracks training as well during this series. So please come along to that training session for when we do go through that. And just double check before I close out the webinar. You can see the team is answering the last few questions, which is amazing. How can we get multiple vendors for a listing? When we have multiple vendors for a listing, how can we set up multiple addresses for sending letters? I am unsure, Deb, if you are referring to physical addresses or if you are referring to email addresses. If it is an email address that you are referring to, so if I just head on back through to my listing that I was in before, if you are, as you can see on my related contacts here, I do have my vendor here that has multiple people on it. When I head into that vendor's contact, under the vendor's contact in the shared email section here, in your email section, you can enter in multiple email addresses. You can then mark those email addresses as secondary if there is that secondary email address. And when you do mark that email address as secondary, your email will then be sent off to both of those email addresses. So I hope that that covers your question that you had. How can I merge contacts when they have been doubled? Great question. Nice and easy to do that. You can do that from a singular contact record if you want by coming into that More tab and clicking on Find Possible Duplicates. Or if you know that there is already a duplicate, you can also click on that Combine Records button. We do also have a deduplication tool, which we will run through as well during this series to show you how you can actually utilize that tool. So please make sure that you come along to that session. Can't see appraisals tab in a listing. I have all the privileges. Rick, you will want to make sure that you're in a property record, not a listing record. So the way that you will be able to tell if you're on a property rather than a listing is if you see this address is not in blue. So if you see that that address is in blue on the record that you're currently on, it means that you're in a listing. You will want to make sure that you're in the actual property record, which the address will be black. Can you run training on how to best manage leads in a practice with some admin staff and a selling agent? We will be running through a leads session with you guys in a later session that will come into play in a few weeks' time. So you will be able to see that and the best practices on processing leads in desktop version, but also in Pocket as well. We will show you that too. All righty. I can see that Cara noticed that I have Justin Bieber's contact in my database. Unfortunately, they're not his actual details. If only that would be nice, but they are fake details there. Amazing. I think that we've answered all questions, which is great. I can see that Rick has asked about when is a commercial coming. I presume that you're referring to any commercial updates. We do have some commercial updates coming up very soon, which we will ensure to keep you updated on when they do come into play. I hope that you all have a fabulous day. If for any reason I might have missed a question, I will see them appear. So we will ensure to get back to you. But I hope that you all have an amazing day. Thank you so much for coming along to our first session. Looking forward to seeing you guys next week. Thanks, guys.